In co-ed band news.
Ban?
Ban. B-A-N. Ban.
Oh, band.
I was like,
Yeah, I thought it was band.
Alright. Submitted by Duffel Bag.
That's a nice name.
That's a good name. Men and women have been banned from eating together in Indonesia.
What?
Because they might fuck.
Indonesia. Oh wait, they're Catholic out there.
No.
Or majority Catholic.
Majority Muslim.
Really?
Yeah.
Indonesia?
Sharia.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's Sharia.
Indonesian has a lot of
I don't know how to
Muslim.
say it.
Sharia.
Sharia.
What is
Sharia.
You remind me
She
of
belongs in Indonesia.
Whoa. Let's keep going.
Yeah, so there's this Indonesian district, which is the most conservative.
I thought you were going to say Indonesian disc jockey.
I thought you were going to say
Why
diss
would she
track.
say that?
District?
Yeah.
That made more sense than disc jockey.
I know, it's such an old word. I would have just said DJ. Anyway,
Such an
so
old word.
okay, so this district here, it's one of the country's most conservative regions, and they just passed this law saying that single women cannot eat with men. So they have to be accompanied by their spouse or a close male relative
Ay,
in order to eat with another man.
You mean like have lunch?
Exactly.
Well, how are they going? What about the man? Does
Because
the
it's
man need to
against
be?
Sharia or however you pronounce it, law. Islamic law. It's
Oh, ay,
How you
ay.
supposed to go on a date? You gotta date in private?
That's what I was thinking
They
too.
don't date. They
apparently.
probably just get straight to
Yeah,
the
what is
marriage,
Is it
right?
arranged marriage?
Like a betrothal.
Damn.
Yeah, and so now they've announced that, and
How does the country feel about it? Like, yeah, we've been wanting this for years.
well, from what I read, it's not like it doesn't seem like they're too happy about it.
Oh.
I mean, that's just what's happening.
I asked my grandma, like, back in the day, I was like, how did dudes hit on you? And she's like, they would ask us to go get some tea, but we would always have a chaperone or something.
Yeah, I think that's why they can't be unaccompanied.
Yeah, and then she was like, we would never walk side by side together.
Oh, how do they walk?
Well, she was also like, she says that in her era, people were starting to become more independent and start like, she said commoners were dating, but then she's kind of like foofy aristocratically or whatever you call it. Like, she's just high society. So then it was different for her, but they kept the tradition of the old school shit. But it wasn't illegal. But she would say like, yeah, like if they go on a date, well, first off, there's no date like the way that we know. It's more of an introduction because you have a handful of introductions with men to figure out if you want to marry one of these guys. So you get, so you get a couple of chances to kind of like see if you connect. You have dinner with them or lunch.
Like suitors that come visit your
Yeah,
house.
suitors.
Yeah, that your family approves of. And then like, so for example, like, let's say if you and Case, both of your parents were cool with it, then you would have like a chaperone that your parents trust, that would come along and then you guys would go date.
Yeah, like the old Asian movies.
Yeah. So like, let's say if Anthony was the chaperone, like Anthony and Casey would kind of like walk as buddies in front, and then you would be in the back. I'm like, damn, that's some sad ass shit.
Wow. You know, when we were in Barcelona, we visited this really famous house, like a Gaudi house, and by the fireplace, I think it was.
Gaudi house, what is that? Gaudi Honda?
No, Gaudi. He's a famous
Like the
architect.
Oh, that one.
So one of
She
his
said shit
homes-
to me earlier.
And then like, it was like near the heat source area. They had a bench that was for two people on one side and one person on the other, and that was for the chaperone.
Chaperone? Oh, damn.
It was crazy. Anyway, so this thing here, they also said that they will restrict food sellers to serve women after 9 p.m. unless they're accompanied by a spouse or a relative. And so they're
So
saying
they can't even like get food if they're single?
after 9 p.m. No,
Can lesbians have lunch?
no, that's against Islamic law too.
You can't have lesbians
A couple of
and
lesbians
that.
just got beat or
Yeah, they
something.
got
Yeah.
caned
In a
in
car?
Malaysia.
They got what?
Or flogged. They got flogged and no caned.
Same difference.
I don't know.
Oh, shit.
That's the wording they used. In Malaysia, they caned two women for being
Lesbian lovers?
lesbian lovers, and they got caught in a car by officers.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they were 22 and 32.
I think there always had to be a chaperone because like there always had to be a witness that the girl is a virgin
Oh.
at
yeah,
all times.
yeah.
They don't get too hanky-panky on the date.
No, like so then they can't be accused of anything because that's their value goes down and they can't. It's harder
Can I
for
get
them
a
to get
witness?
married. I think that's why it's like, oh, I heard that they were alone, like, but they were just drinking tea together. Oh yeah, but there was like 30 minutes of them. No one knows where they went, and then they're like, oh, they could have done it.
Dang.
So it's to protect the I guess like the
credit.
Value.
value, the integrity,
value.
the integrity of the female too.
By witness.
Yeah.
What's the policy of Sharia of two dogs of the same sex fucking? Like if you beat lesbian women, right? Which is really fucked up.
Do dogs have? Can dogs be gay?
I've seen two chihuahuas.
There's hella gay dogs.
My girl dogs hump each other.
All the time.
That's what I'm saying. So do they go and they kick these dogs away? They're like, stop this
Actual
lesbian?
attraction or is it just animal instinct to like get some stuff
I think it's
out?
just
I never asked
asserting
one.
dominance.
So I don't really know.
It's asserting dominance, right?
I think so.
I wouldn't speak
I mean,
on
that's
their
what
behalf.
sex is half the time anyway, right?
Yup.
I'm always dominating your ass.
Nuh-uh.
Not humbly in the bedroom.
This is just like old laws that people still stand by, and it's so crazy that sometimes I forget. You know how like they say like when Americans travel, they act like they rule everything? I kind of feel like I do that. On accident, not because I want to, but because we're so free and entitled to our freedom that I forget, like, especially when we were in Malaysia, and then we were on a radio show and they're like talking about college, and we're like, oh yeah, we don't really need college. And they're like, oh, actually, can you not say you don't need college? Can you say that you need college? And I'm like, then don't ask me for my opinion if I can't be real with it. That's my American thinking, right? Like,
Well, because of the government, right? They were like, the government doesn't allow that.
Yeah, they're doing a campaign on why college is important at the time.
but I was just like, damn, dude, something as simple as that, like, we really take our freedoms for granted because I couldn't say that in Malaysia, and they were terrified. They were so scared to say, yeah, you don't really need college.
Or even hugging, right? You couldn't hug.
Well, guys can't hug women,
Yeah.
like in public.
Yeah, it's interesting there because like they only kind of police the Muslim community, so they don't care if you're like Chinese or white or whatever in Malaysia. But then like, yeah, they were even saying like during I think it's Ramadan, but when they can't have alcohol or whatever,
Ramadan?
there'll be special like Sharia like police that come in and they would check the IDs of the Malays, and then they'll be like, oh shit, you drinking? All right, boom, you're going to jail, buddy. But they don't care if Chinese people do it because they're like, oh yeah, you Chinese. Yeah,
Bring tourism, capitalism, and economy into our.
they don't. I guess they don't. I think for them it's like the Sharia law is only for the Muslims,
Yeah.
and it's like mainly the ethnic Malays are Muslim. So then that's kind of cool though. It's kind of like you police yourself, but then like, you know, like if I'm a tourist and I'm there and I'm drinking on Ramadan, like I don't get in trouble.
Yeah.
What brought on this change? Why all of a sudden?
I'm not sure. They're just announcing that that's now a new change.
I can see why they would be so upset about it. Because it's like we've had it this way for a minute, and like it's been okay, and then now we're switching it to something very like drastic.
It's like going back in time.
Maybe
What if you,
they might feel like they're losing control, like the religion is falling apart.
Maybe.
People aren't, respecting what they should be doing. Like it's getting too liberal, so they're just like coming
you're
in. They're just
right.
like getting more strict.
Something like really intense, kind of like as a catalyst that acts towards like more extremist way
What
of
if they're
life.
like, oh, this Instagram hoeing in Indonesia is, and then like they see all the fucking girls in Bali like wearing G-strings and shit, and then they're like, we gotta change this.
Maybe. But they
Or
did
something
say
like
though that the owners of these coffee shops, restaurants, and cafes, that it would be up to them to enforce it. So, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, technically, it's not a crazy concept because it's associated with like, you know, a religion and a faith, right?
Yeah.
So like, there's a bunch of crazy religions and faith even in like America, you know, so America.
But how is it punished? Like, is it by law? Like, you get in trouble?
Like an uppercut to the stomach.
So, no, they're saying that offenders won't be punished,
They're
but
just
that
not
now it's
served.
just like banned. Like they're just not allowing.
Maybe they can kick them out, or they can just be like, or they just refuse service.
refuse
So if you're
service.
like if you're like a Muslim coffee shop owner and you don't agree with this, then you can kick out and say
It's
like,
like a way of
you're not married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legal discrimination. Kind
Yeah.
Of. Get out.
I feel like it's hard for me. So here's my thought on this. To me, it's like there's really right or wrong. It really depends on the group. I don't think there's an ultimate right or wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Right? Like people, majority of it is cultural, right? Like there'll be societies that are just like headhunters. They'll be like, for them, eating human flesh is okay, and that's a part of that. Does it make it okay to murder? I don't think so. But then in that world, you know what I mean? That's their thing. And there's just a lot of sick and twisted, weird things that go on. But I'm like, that's their world.
Yeah, that's definitely not the worst of like, you know, religious concepts.
It
or,
does
like,
seem sad though. Like if you're trying to plan a Valentine's Day party, you kind of don't want to hire these guys to plan for you.
You know, they're not romantic.
They're not romantic. I don't see pink. I don't see pink hearts. I see maybe a couple black hearts. I don't see any pink hearts or purple hearts.
I don't even see hearts. I just see a lot of people fucking chaperoning it. Making sure you
Keep
don't.
saying chaperone.
Chaperone!
It's a chaperone.
God damn it.
It's been bothering me this whole video. I've been trying to keep it together, but I couldn't.
it's like the mixture of chauffeur.
I'm like, wait,
Oh yeah.
chauffeur and chaperone?
It's easier to just say it that way though.
This is not Japanese, this is the English language. You need to respect it.
But the fur is funnier.
Like November.
November, yeah, he
November.
fucks that shit up too.